Oh, baby, we're back. We're doing a triple or a double or a single. My screen is running HDR, and that means this looks like Dookie. Let's turn HDR off. Because by default, my screen runs HDR. Um, it just doesn't look as good on the actual screen itself when I don't have HDR on, but it's okay. The darks are darker, the lights are lighter, and now we are back and at it again for Dungeons and Dragons. We're back, and ladies and gentlemen, uh, welcome back. Our wonderful party of little adventure, our wonderful little party of adventurers are back and at it again. Last we had left off, uh, you shouldn't be. Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean? I'm confused. Oh, yes, your tokens are just placed here mainly for the fact that it allows me to request roles from you on this page because this is where the majority of you guys are spending your time anyway. You know, but we are back and at it again. Last we had left off, our party did some shopping in Free Reach. They did some shopping, they did some exploration, some walking around, some getting to know folks, and some were trying to do some various different things, especially in relation to Lord's Word. If I recall correctly, last we had left off, two of you were going to attempt a little bit of a little trek into the Lord's Ward. Was this correct? Okay. Wait, White Castle Rock? What is that? No, no, I know there's White Rock Castle, but I meant like what's the other? Oh. Well, as of this current moment, feel free to name it whatever you want to, because you guys haven't been there yet. But, uh, hey, you never know. Um, but last we had come here, if I recall correctly, we had essentially left off with was it Zane and Eclipse that were kind of just vibrating at the edge of this. Oh, it was sorry. It was essentially the two of them kind of just like sitting at the edge of the kind of area looking in. Right? Right. Right. Okay. Then we're gonna go with short rest. Yes. But as you guys are kind of like watching, this is now like the day before, and quite a lot of the actual people who would have arrived for the party specifically have actually they've shown up. They're wandering about in the various different areas within the actual city itself. Some of them deciding to reside more within the actual commons areas, of which is also the areas that you guys are kind of like residing within. It's a little bit more populous, a little bit more popular, and generally a little bit less expensive. While there have been some various other folks who have arrived within the city, ignored essentially every other location, and just beeline for the Lord's War. Um, and you do still see a constant stream of not like too many people, but there are various people still flooding into the Lord's Ward, arriving on the day before, and you're sure that they're probably going to continue doing so. Uh, this would probably be the morning of, wouldn't it? Yeah, this would be the morning of the 26th. Couple hours forward. You guys are actually in morning hours. How early would you guys have shown up to this? Would you have tried to infiltrate while there were people going in? Or would you guys have tried to go in before the wee hours of the morning where people started flooding or kind of like going along the path? Okay. All right. So as you kind of give it a little bit of time, you do arrive relatively early in the morning. And it's not that there's like a crowd forming, but you can definitely tell that there are people who are arriving kind of semi early. The sun has kind of crested over the edge of the horizon, and you can see that just above it is relatively cloudy, and the sun appears to be starting to get kind of like overcast. So all around you, it's a little bit more dim than it would be if it had been kind of you know the proper sun out with no clouds covering it. But um, yeah, there's a pretty generous crowd that is attending it. You do see that some of the kind of stands and various different shops and things that are uh, on this square and kind of like empty area on the edges of it, at the very least, are starting to kind of pike up with activity. There's various different folks who are beginning to just, you know, get their days started. Um, as of this current moment, when you're looking around, give me a perception check, both you and oops, 13. You can double tap the 17. Okay. Zane, as you're kind of glancing around, trying to determine if there's any set of like suitable places where you guys could kind of infiltrate or go in, it's a little bit difficult to tell. Unfortunately, the first cart that you kind of see is like there's guards all around it, and getting underneath it would be relatively difficult. It's raised, so you can't really hide underneath properly if that's what you do. While the second cart, it's just like I mean, it's sitting there, it's slowly rolling forwards, and you feel like it might be a little bit too low, but uh Eclipse, you actually see that there is like an area where you could fairly easily tuck both yourself and Zane into underneath that second cart if you so wished. Uh Alternatively, you do see that the guards in that second group, they're all wearing like cloaks and helmets and other things like that. And as far as been you've seen previously, it didn't look like the guards were really checked over too much. It was mainly the passengers that were checked. Additionally, you don't know if the interior of that cart has any. I mean, it looks like there's probably someone inside, given that there's guards and such protecting it. But you could potentially slip into it, and if the person inside is cooperative, you don't know. But okay, you guys gonna try and kind of blend into the crowd and just like slip up underneath the actual cart? All right. I need both of you to give me stealth checks. 22 is a good start. A 22 is an excellent start for both of you. Yeah, with honestly relative ease, the two of you kind of slip out of the alley, blend into the crowd, and just kind of like basically tuck yourselves underneath of this area just between the wheels and like just above the actual axis where the cart's wheels are kind of like turning. It's a little precarious, and you're not entirely sure how long you can actually hold on to it. But you're successfully underneath the actual cart itself as it continues to roll forward. The group ahead of you kind of goes through without too much of a hitch. Oh, yeah. Okay, good, good, good. Because I was going to ask. I was like, is Autumn with you? But yeah, all right. But yeah, if you've left Autumn back at the inn, then you don't have to worry about her for now. Um, yeah, as you guys are actually underneath the cart, the first group kind of goes by without too much of a hitch. They take about 5-10 minutes, just kind of a discussion with some of the guards. You overhear a little bit, but give me a perception check if you guys are trying to listen in, or if you don't care, then you don't have to. Okay. The first that you actually hear, will grab the um as you guys are kind of like tucked in underneath it, you actually hear that the group in front of you. You don't hear everything. Zane specifically, unfortunately, you don't get very much. The crowds, the kind of movement, the actual movement of the carts, the actual spinning of the wheels. It's just a little bit too loud, and you're not kind of used to it to be able to hear the specific voices that are going through. But Eclipse, you have a little bit more of a clearer ear line, I guess, to it. And you can hear specifically that it's identified that whoever is in the front cart is from House Barlow. It seems to be a woman, as you do hear them speak a few times. You don't really catch the specific words of what she says, but you do overhear the name specifically, Atney. um, Give me a history check. And it's just you. Oh no, it's this is like something that you could have potentially heard just being in this city. Like if you yeah. Well, if it had been one higher, you could have remembered something, but unfortunately, you got nothing. Drawing complete blank slate. You know that House Atney, or sorry, House Barlow. Yeah, no, it's understandable. You know that House Barlow is one of the houses in the Midlands. It's one of like the major houses. They probably have a seat on the council. Aside from that, you don't really know. But yeah, as you two are kind of just like hanging on to it, because you're a little bit suspended and you're actually like holding onto it with your arms, I need both of you to give me an athletics check. I'm sorry. It has to. Oh, Eclipse. Oh, oh. The DC was really low. It was low enough that Eclipse made it. Barely. The DC was an 8. Oh. Zane, unfortunately, like your grip on the thing loosens and your strength is just not present with you for one reason or another. Your hand, it gets loose and you actually fall to the ground. Um, like Eclipse, you could definitely see him. You could definitely hear him. But I mean, you could try something if either of you want to do something, but it doesn't seem like anybody has immediately noticed you guys because the cart is a little bit like larger. It's a little bit easier to hide, but you have like seconds at most. I'll let Zane go first. You can make it invisible if you so wish. Oh, okay. Give me a deception check with your spellcasting modifier, so intelligence. That's a 27-year-old you're telling me? Holy shit. Oh, It's instead of intelligence. Oh, sorry, it's instead of charisma. It's a +1 on top of this. 23. Okay, okay, that's still pretty good. Um, yeah, no, absolutely. You just kind of grab one of the loose stones and pebbles that you can kind of see in the area, and you just get the. Sorry. Oh, it's a +4 on that. That's a 26. Yeah, no, it's way above these. It's okay. But you basically pick up a stone, you chuck it off to the side, and it gives you like a solid 15, 16 seconds to kind of like get yourself back into the nook. And you genuinely don't think anybody even remotely noticed you. But Eclipse, you could also feel like your arm is like kind of slipping because the way that it is that your foot is kind of like on an area where you can kind of hold it, but unfortunately your arms are not. Like you actually have to use your arm strength to kind of like hold yourself up to the bottom of the cart. Um, ooh, it would be very, very difficult, but you could probably maneuver something into a position. Give me a sleight of hand check. Unfortunately, like yeah, unfortunately, it's a little too difficult to properly maneuver a weapon into a position that you could like kind of use to hang on to it. Um, but yeah, no, it's too difficult to do that. But right, yeah. Oh, but as the cart kind of prattles forward, you do begin to hear that the cars are kind of having a conversation with the driver of the cart. Um, this one's a lot easier to hear, but it's still a little muffled. So give me a perception check if you want to listen. Ooh, okay. Then- Oh, did you 16? Okay, sorry, I saw. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. You guys clicked at the exact same time, so I was like, oh. But okay. The person who is attending from this specific cart appears to be from House Larv, which both of you. Oh, sorry, no, not House Larv. It's House Rin. Give me either of you. The DC is lower for the person who stays in. Okay, well he's still. Oh God, no. Yeah, the DC was lower. But no, unfortunately, like you've heard of House Rin. It is a prominent Midlands house. Oh, you have no idea who it is. But yeah, they have a bit of a conversation on the outside. You don't hear anybody on the inside of the actual card itself, but eventually, after maybe about another 5 minutes, just kind of discussion talks about the various different things, the actual specific invite being taken a look at. They have to determine if there's a location where they're actually staying, so they're not just letting them into the Lord's Ward to wander around. Eventually, I will need one more athletics check from both of you right before they go in because you could feel your arm strength loosening. However, the DC is still relatively low. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Without too much of an issue, Eclipse, you just like grit your teeth, grab it, and you basically like flex all your muscles to prevent yourself from even remotely moving. Um, but Zane, Yeah, Zane, you barely managed to hang on long enough to stay on the interior and like underneath the actual cart itself. But you guys are now past the actual doors of the Lord's Ward, which you can see the giant shadow of which you guys kind of or pass on the along the underneath of this cart. Um, you will probably have an opportunity to get away, but you do see that the cart seems to be heading in a specific direction, with the guards kind of like walking beside it. Yeah, give me a just give me a stealth check, both, or actually no, just give me a perception check. Oh yeah, absolutely. Eclipse, you could definitely tell that there's an opportunity at the next turn. Essentially, when they turn as a group, the guards kind of go a little bit ahead of the group, allows you a little bit of space at the back to kind of just like slip out undetected. You have maybe a couple of seconds until the next turn. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Both of you give me stealth checks on to see how well you managed to get away from this. Oh, that is a two. I rolled a two. Oh my god. I'm so. But as the two of you kind of like drop, Eclipse, you drop like a cat. You land on all four, and you kind of just like scramble out. No issues. You pat yourself off, and you just kind of like immediately blend into. Surprisingly, no crowd. There's like not that many people around, but it didn't look like anybody saw you, and it didn't look like anybody noticed you at all. Um, but you turn around and you see Zane like he's crashed onto the ground. One, not landed very well. It's not that he didn't land gracefully. It's more that he made noise when he landed. And you actually see one of the guards kind of like, yeah. I would say you actually managed to get up faster. Like you have a little bit of time to potentially help him. The front of the cart, like maybe 20 feet. Okay. Give me a deception check with your spellcasting modifier. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Um, let me roll. I'm gonna roll this for. I'm gonna roll for the guard. Uh, as this, yeah, basically. You hear one of the guards go, "What the fuck was up?" As he does turn around a little bit towards all of you, but then he hears the noise and he actually turns straight back towards the noise. Lydia, are you okay? All right. Yeah. As you two are kind of like very quickly exiting the scene, you do hear the yeah, you do hear the voice of a woman kind of speak something, but you don't hear what they say because you're trying to get away so fast. But yeah, you have successfully infiltrated the Lord's Ward. Now that you have a chance to kind of like take a look around, you now see these massive estates, castles, all kind of just situated around the entirety of this area. It is grand. It is like how do I say this? It is essentially a gated community, but instead of lawns, instead of like small two-story houses and whatnot, people are literally building castles in this tiny little plot that they've been given. It is jam-packed with so many different homes of honestly so many different styles that it is a little jarring to look at. The majority of them are, of course, the kind of trademark brick and mortar that is well known within Free Reach. For the majority of it, it's the kind of like whitish gray brick that they have, and these kind of like shingled that are pointed for the most part. But you also see various different other styles. You even see what appears to be like a low how do I say this? It's almost like a tiny little tent in comparison to all the other buildings, but it's one that you would distinctively recognize as northern, especially for you, Eclipse, because it's probably something that you've seen before. But it's not necessarily in the style of what House Umber would have, because House Umber they live in castle. Uh, but yeah, it's a little strange. But you also see other kind of aspects of the South included here as well. But you are now well within the environment of the Lord's Ward. Glancing around, what would you guys like to do? All right. So, all right. So, what specifically are you guys going to start with? A lot of them do actually. Some of them have house names. Some of them have specific like first names. Um, as of this current moment, you like none of them are recognizable. Uh, like all of them are just last names or house names that you just have never heard of before. Give me a history check, either of you or both of you. Okay. Um, both of you are vaguely aware that the Midlands has a large amount of various different houses. Not all of them are considered to be like core or central. Uh, the Midlands homes and houses, like they all stem from the core houses that you are well acquainted with, like the actual clanship of the Midlands. Um, some of them are minor houses that still lay claim to some of the portions of the power that House Lord Don has, which is kind of like a thing that you see relatively frequently with these plaques. You actually see on them like, oh, subsidiary or like distant relative or related to or related or like part of House X or Y as a part of some of their plaques. Um, but none of these are of the main houses. Like none of them are recognizable. You don't know any of the names. But give me a perception check as you guys are walking the streets themselves. Okay. Eclipse. One of the houses catches your attention. Um, it looks like the actual building itself doesn't look that different to the others. However, it looks almost downtrodden, like it hasn't been lived in for a little while. You see it at the end of one of these lanes, kind of like enter, you look at the plaque, and there's actually no plaque on there. Like there used to be, but it looks like it's been removed. Possibly someone new has moved into here, but it does look like there's someone that is residing within this place because it looks like it's been tidied up. There's a lot of like these card there's these like wooden boxes on the outside that you can kind of like see. Some of them are partially open. There's like a ton of various different like containers full of just like dust. There's the white drapings that you would usually associate with an area that's been like abandoned maybe. That has been like kind of bundled up into this large bundle that's just kind of like sitting in the front on like the cobblestones just in front of the actual building itself. So it looks like someone recently potentially could have moved into here, and it just it just strikes you as odd. Fine. But yeah, kind of moving on from that actual building itself. As you wander deeper into the actual Lord's Ward, you do see that the homes and the actual plots get larger. Uh, to the point where some of these plots are literally taking up entire blocks by themselves. Like previously, it felt like they were all being stuffed into these tiny little areas, which is like, you know, not that large. They didn't really have gardens, and they were kind of building upwards versus outwards. While as you get deeper and deeper into the actual Lord's Ward, you can see that a lot of these buildings begin to go upwards and outwards. They have enough room to be expansive and kind of like actually castle like. While at the very, very far back of the Lord's Ward, you can see the singular large tower, kind of like very thick at the base, rise all the way up to the actual sky itself. Um, you can only guess that that is potentially where the actual venue is, and at the very least, to this abandoned house that you guys just had left from, it would be at the very least like almost like a 10-minute run at like a soft sprint. Um, yeah, what? This is almost exactly how I had pictured it in my head, except yeah, except that a lot of like the actual plots are like half the size of the FF housing ones. Uh, but they kind of get like larger and larger as you guys kind of go on, and the homes get more kind of like resplendent. They get more beautiful and a lot more fancy at the very least. A lot of them begin to have all these like hedge gardens, these like massive metal fences that are kind of there to discourage intruders. Though for one reason or other, you're not sure why or where intruders would come from, given that access to the Lord's Ward is so difficult already. Um, like a lot of them have these like large bushes and kind of hedges that are growing up and out on top of the actual fences themselves. But it's all really, really well taken care of. And you actually begin to see some more of the larger names that you do recognize. you actually see multiple homes that belong to like House Ordon. You see a few of them that belong to House Pentagast, or had belonged to House Pentagast. Um, the ones that are specifically labeled for House Pentagast, you see two separate buildings, but neither of them look like they're lived in, and all of the windows and curtains and kind of things are just completely drawn closed. Some of them look like they're gathering dust, or some of the vines and various different things are just a little bit overgrown. It doesn't necessarily seem like anybody's been living in these buildings, at least not for a while. Um, as you guys are getting closer towards the actual back of the actual city, you do see that significantly more people are kind of like are gathered, both out on the streets, wandering. Some of them going to the various different shops that are available in the Lord's Ward exclusively, while some of them are just kind of wandering to and fro. A lot of them almost seems to have this air of opulence and kind of "I'm better than you" to them. So it's yeah, it's very noticeable to say the very least. But give me one more perception, both of you. Ooh, okay. Still pretty good. Yeah. With another glance, as you guys are kind of like wandering around the entirety of the ward, it's yeah, it is. Oof, it's ostentatious. You actually see another home that was previously dedicated to Pentagast. Like the plaque is still up, but you can see that there is now like this paper that's been taped or like glued or something underneath it. And it actually says temporary residence of Lady Akara. Uh, with your 25, you actually overhear what sounds like almost like an argument nearby. Um, kind of taking a glance over, you see what appears to be like a guard, as well as um, someone from one of the noble houses. You can only assume. Uh, actually, give me a history check to see if you can place who it is. Hmm. All right, give me a moment. Just to grab something. 17 and a 19. That's pretty good. Uh, okay. Oh, no, no, no. I would say that with the enough time, you probably would. Given Zane, I'm assuming Zane points it out to you. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, you don't get much more than anything. Actually, Zane, you do get this. You kind of recognize them as like they have the facial features. They're wearing the colors of House Ordon, but they're probably not the main house, or at the very least, not a part of the direct main house. You see, like an older gentleman, maybe like in his 40s, kind of arguing with one of the guards, and you overhear, "Why is she being put up in this home? Why am I not in it? This is outrageous! She is of a small house! There should be no reason why she is given treatment like this!" I understand you, sir. I really do. But there's nothing that I can do in regards to this. This was at a request of Lord Aston. I mean, if you really wish to, you can speak with him. Lord Aston, my uncle is not specifically about to put all this bullshit in here. You should listen to me. Just put me in one of the better homes. Why have you put me at the edges of this town? It makes no sense. Sir, I'm sorry. This was all pre assigned, and the invitations were sent out accordingly. We only have so much room. Outrageous. These guards! Can you believe this? How dare you? I'll have you fired! Does that work? No, it doesn't fire. I'll have you removed from the guard! And then you can see him walk away. Yeah. Aside from that, there really isn't too much of a commotion. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do? But you aren't at the venue yet. The venue is all the way at the back of the Lord's Ward. It's kind of like raised into the air, and it's this like large tower that spirals way up into the sky. For your current location to the actual venue, honestly, like a solid 2 minute hard walk. Well, it would probably be more like 2 to 4 minutes, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's like a normal person. Yeah, but yeah, you would also have to realize that like yeah, you would also have to realize that 30 is not a normal person's moving speed. Like they have access to 30 feet if they wanted to, but it's a light jog when you're doing 30 feet every 6 seconds. If they're at walking pace, like this is maybe 2 to 4 minutes away. If you're going like at speed, you could probably get here in like 30 seconds. uh Kind of glancing around, you do actually see like a decent amount of them. There's the guards, of course, which is actually significantly more plentiful within the Lord's Ward than they were outside. While outside, you see one maybe posted at like the odd corner or in very busy places. You'd see like maybe one or two. In here, there's actually quite a few. There's almost one posted at every corner. um you see various different kind of like janitors almost, of like genuinely it's just people kind of going about sweeping the grounds and doing whatnot. You see there's various different people kind of like going about fixing various different portions of the infrastructure that might be damaged. You actually see someone fixing the cobblestones on the ground, but they do seem to be casting a spell. They're not like bending down and like physically fixing it. You can see they're like just snapping their fingers here and there, and then every once in a while, some of the stones and kind of pottery and like masonry kind of fixes itself or puts itself back together. Um, so like a relatively decent amount. There's probably out of the crowd that you can kind of see maybe like 30, 40 people. There's like maybe 6 or 7 workers in the area immediately. Hmm. It's relatively easy. Give me just an investigation check at a distance, just to see how much detail you can capture. Yeah, I'll say that you can't help it because you two can both be like, taking a look and kind of like noting things down together. So, Zane, if you want to roll with, okay, a 2 and a 19, that's crazy. But yeah, absolutely. With kind of Eclipse supplementing you, the both of you just kind of like having this conversation hushed. You do manage to get some pretty detailed representation of how they work. And one of the things that you majorly notice is that each and every one of the workers has like this small bracelet that they're wearing. The bracelet appears to be, for the most part, decorational, but there is like a small symbol on the back of it that seems to kind of like show almost a castle, and it looks like an enamel pin of some sort. Um, but yeah, and you're fairly certain that all of the workers have it. However, none of the actual like guests or various different folks that are walking around, they don't have it. None of them have it. Uh, you with the 27, you do notice that they are not unique. Like every single one of them looks the exact same, including the guards and like the mason workers. They look the exact same. No, no, not like the people. The bracelet that they're wearing. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. It looks the exact same. Sure, give me a perception check. Yeah, of course. Okay. Both of you noticed one person that is specifically slacking off. You two notice different people. One of you, Zane specifically, you notice what appears to be like a masonry worker who has snuck off into like one of the alleys between the castles and is currently having a really nice nap, from the best that you can tell, because he's just like slumped up against the building and he just has like snoring. But otherwise, actually, relatively well hidden. Um, Eclipse, you notice that there is a guard who is like sitting on like a small bench who quote unquote appears to be awake and kind of like paying attention to their surroundings. He is fucking dead asleep underneath that helmet. Okay, give me two separate sleight of hand checks. Who are you going to start with? Okay, so at the edge of the alley, you're just kind of like leaning against the wall. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check. I will roll a perception for him. He does have a -5. Yes, this is true. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? You rolled a -1. No, that bracelet comes out absolutely zero issues. There's this like little clip at the back of it. You just undo the clip, it just falls off his hand. You pick it up from the ground. You now have a bracelet. Absolutely zero effort. The guy does not even stir. Do you want to? Okay, give me another sleight of hand check. Yeah, like to you on the oh Jesus, to you on the surface, he looks like wide awake, but he doesn't have like his eyes are kind of covered in the top helmet of his like the helmet shadow. You can't really tell, but I'll give him a roll as well. Are you fucked? Here, I'll reveal the first roll. You can see that one. That was for the mason worker. This is for the guard. Fucking Christ. Yeah, yeah, it absolutely is. He does not even move. Like you unclip it, and for a brief moment, you feel like your mage hand definitely touched his arm. Brother is in the deepest sleep he has probably ever been in. Oh yeah, absolutely knock the fuck out. Because you brush him, nothing. Okay, give me an investigation check. Oh my god. Fuck. Are you robbing him of you know what? I'll just give you a list of what he has on him, and then you can tell me if you take it or not. Yeah, basically. He has a small coin purse and ID badge bracelet. Dagger tuck. Oh. Okay, sure. Take the ID as well. You kind of pull the ID, you pull the bracelet, and you put the potion of healing. You just kind of like drift them over into you, and you put them away. But you kind of take a look at the ID badge before you put it away, and it just says like the actual name of the person, as well as having like an artful rendition of what they look like, um, as well as an ID number, or sorry, like a guard ID number is also on the ID. Oh my god. Well, I think it's literally the meme that where is it? I think it's literally this. It's just I was just going, huh? Oh god. You took his ID and you're gonna frame it? Okay. Alright. Sure. Yeah. You managed to you grab his ID, you grab the neck sorry, the bracelet without any issues, and you managed to grab the potion of healing. He doesn't even know what's been done to him yet. All right, but yeah, uh, managed to rob the poor guy. Yeah, what's up? Oh yeah. Uh, n- they're not doing the environment. You do see a painter, but he's being accompanied by like two folks who are like literally just like they've sat down in on a like a small park area where there's a bench, and then there's this guy with a paint like he's got the easel, he's got everything, and he's currently painting. Yeah, sure. I'm guessing it's like information that you're just jotting down for the future. Right, right. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, just basically like how it's set up, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You managed to get like a very basic sketch of in your mind of how the Lord's Ward kind of looks. Um n- Noted down with like some X's that nobody would really recognize what it was on the sheet unless they knew what you were thinking of doing. Um but yeah, yeah. You guys kind of get rudimentary. Give me both of you, give me a stealth you have disadvantage, Zane. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. While you two are kind of doing this, Eclipse, you wander a little bit away from Zane, like maybe 10 feet. And you're kind of like doing a little bit of the sketch. And Zane, you are actually approached. Um, you see one of the guards who does seem to be kind of like patrolling the entire area, kind of walk up to you, looks at you for a little bit. Hey, you. Yeah, talking to you with the mask. Give me a sleight of hand check. This guy is not unconscious, so he has his normal modifier. Is this on private? You know what? I'll roll it in public just for you. Actually, you know what? I'll keep this a secret. You don't need to see this. He kind of like glances over at you, crosses his arms as you're approaching, and you can see that like he appears to be probably like a higher ranked guard. He's not like just one of the generic ones, and you do see that he also has the bracelet on his arm. Uh, but he kind of like looks at you. What's with the mask, man? Why were you allowed to work in here? Are you a worker? What are you? I mean, yeah, you took a little bit of a look. Kind of have a vague idea. Um, it was like some people were fixing things, some people were literally doing janitorial duty. Like there was some folks who were doing like garden trimming, but almost all of them had like some sort of tools, or some of them were doing it with magic. But yeah, yeah. And they sent you home. Give me a deception check. Let's roll his insight. You're fucking. I have genuinely not rolled above a three. That's two fucking twos in a row. He kind of glances at you. You one of the ones that clean with magic? Yeah, yeah, go. Yeah, he kind of just like steps back a little bit, and you kind of do a little bit of flourish. What specifically are you like trying to clean and or do? Okay, he kind of looks at you. Let's see. Okay, all right, fine, good, 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 good. Can you get my shoe? I think I stepped in shit. Kind of like turns around ever so slightly, and you can see he shows you the bottom of his boot. It's not shit that he stepped in. It appears to be just like some like a bunch of dirt that just kind of was grouped up. It's mud or something. And he's like, "Yeah, can you get that for me?" Yeah. And he's like, "Ah, excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work." Yeah. He, he just walks away. He just walks away. Oh my god. Well, the dice wanted you to succeed, so boom, there you go. Uh yeah, but they wanted this guy to fail harder. Uh from the sidelines, you watched this entire kind of interaction eclipse. Um Zane's lie was a little shit. Like, and you are so surprised this guy fell for it. Like it wasn't terrible. Yeah, but you were just like yeah, yeah. But you were just like, this guy's bullshit. But you were like, what? This guy believes him? My God. But yeah, yeah, no. After a little bit, he's kind of like left alone. And yeah. What do you guys do now? Yeah, as you watch, there seems to be like this main big street that kind of approaches the venue. Like it is a wide street. Like this thing is like 30 feet wide. Um, and you can see varieties of like carts, people just kind of like wandering in and out. And some of them are heading towards the venue, but you can see that there's a lot of like shops, various different things that are kind of like present on this larger street towards the venue. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people. So, you're trying to get closer eclipse to study the area? Sure. Give me a dexterity. Oh, sorry. Give me a stealth check. No worries. Oh no. Yeah. Uh, Zane, do you follow him, or are you just like kind of keeping to the same area? Okay, sure. You could also give me a stealth check. Okay. Yeah, with the two of you, you kind of managed to blend into the crowd relatively successful. You wander up all the way to the actual venue itself. And it is like a large place. Unfortunately, it looks like it's actually closed off, but there is like as you approach the base of this castle, or like the spire almost, you can see a variety of different like glass windows that are just illuminating this interior of maybe like it goes up, oh, like 30, 40 feet of just these beautiful stained glass windows. Um, as well as the actual tower itself, kind of like this large spire that does actually have elements of like a spinning upwards kind of tie, where there's these bits of like stone, kind of like almost masonry that just unnaturally revolves around the actual building itself. That has to have been done by magic of some sort. Um, but the actual like venue itself is beautiful. The tower itself rises maybe 100, 150 feet up into the air, and there seems to be multiple rooms on the interior. And from the best that you can gather, it's probably ooh, like 250 feet to 200, like 250 feet across the entire way. So it's like a bit of a squat tower, but it is still like a bit of a tower. And there seems to be multiple rooms on the inside, but you're not entirely sure how it's kind of like set up. Was there anything specific that you wanted to look for? Unfortunately, it's difficult to tell. You can definitely see that there are guard stations outside the venue. The venue itself almost has like a courtyard itself where it's like a fenced off area. And you can see right now that there are guards on the interior, kind of like doing inspections and checks and things like that. But there doesn't seem to be anything like there's probably gonna be guard stations or various different things like that on the interior, but just not sure where or how they're gonna set it up. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Give me a perception check. Just you. Okay. I mean, you know, yeah, you don't necessarily spot anything that's too out of the ordinary. Right. Okay. And the two of you making your way kind of out of the actual Lord's Ward, give me just a general stealth check for the rest of it to see if you're approached again. Oh, Zane. Oh, Eclipse. Uh, oh, did you already? Oh, no. Okay. Very, very. No, you're maybe about halfway through, and both of you are actually like you're not stopped necessarily, but you do see that in front of one of these buildings, there's like six paladins. Um, and you actually you recognize that these are let me double check. uh, they are no, these are oh god, what organization was it from? Sorry, let me double check. And I have this thing. Would you? Okay. Yeah, you see you see like two maybe squires. They look like they're in chainmail and they're just kind of like holding spears in front of them while following these four knights. One of the four is appears to be like he's not necessarily physically larger, but he almost gives off an aura that you could definitively feel that seems to be like affecting things around him. Because like he's also wearing like full heavy plate mail. And you can see the symbol of the crowned expanse on his shoulder pauldron. Um, and he kind of like, as you guys are walking past, he brings his great sword down in front of Zane. Halt, you! He draws a line and kind of like points it at you. What are you doing? Yeah. Give me an insight check. Yep. Uh, uh, both of you very much recognize that there is no recognition in his eyes of those bracelets. He doesn't know what they are. Uh, he points his greatsword at you. You've the build of a thief, and a man who covers his face is no honorable man. What are you doing within the Lord's ward? Okay. Give me a deception check. You have no disadvantage on this. I was going to give you disadvantage because of I think he has, but you have advantage on it, so it's flat. He glances at you, looks down. My mistake. He backs up slightly, puts the sword into the ground. Give me a wisdom save. Yeah. I mean, you feel fine. Um, that's it. You don't know. Yeah. Hmm. What does Zane look like without his mask? I'll let you handle that. Yeah. Give me a perception check as you're leaving, both of you. uh oh, Zane, actually, you hear something very useful. Um, as you're kind of walking away, putting the mask back on, you see Eclipse is walking like a slight bit forward, and you kind of like turn your head ever so slightly, and you hear, "If Marked, he shows up tomorrow," and then that's all you hear. Right? Yeah. You leave with relatively little issues, and you kind of get back to your party within probably it doesn't take you more than like 2 hours to do all of that. So it's only around noon. Um, what would the rest of you have been doing? That's fair. Yeah. You see, Reggie has been essentially just like doing walks around the entire area. He's not really doing much of anything actually, unless Sir Axis wanted something to do with him or wanted to do something with him. But he's been basically like just patrolling, taking walks, and just like kind of keeping himself in shape, uh, and ready physically for things because he's like he's hyped up. He's hyped up about it. Yeah. Sir Axis, Sorrows, anything you guys wanted to do? Anything? No. I do. But well, it's fair. It hasn't been its turn for a little bit. Uh, but yeah, if there wasn't anything in particular, Sars, that you wanted to accomplish, then technically we could go to next day of the actual ball if you so wish. Unless there was something you wanted to do. Oh yeah, absolutely. Without any issues, you kind of managed to trace out all of the kind of blobs, the areas, the various different landmarks, and it's enough that it's recognizable that anybody who kind of took a look at the map would be able to be like, "Oh yeah, we're kind of like in this area, probably." Yeah. Okay. Uh, as you cast identify, give me a spell level check or like a spell casting ability check. Your charisma plus your charisma plus your proficiency. Yeah. Okay. You do beat the level of this. Um, Paladins can only cast up to level 5 spells, even if he was, even if you. But you have essentially like it's an altered version of Hunter's Mark. It is long lasting. It essentially lasts a full week. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's back. He was stepped away. Okay, cool. Then yeah, you guys are doing that. Oh, Zane gets his head measured. Sure. Give me some wood carving tools, Chunks. I think. Wait, did you already do that? I can't remember. Mask. Yeah. The mask is average. It looks fine. It's more than passable, but yeah. Yeah. No big decoration. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Uncanny Valley doesn't exist. All right. So you go get your hair dyed. What color? Just curious. Brown. Is your I think he's already got white hair, right? So like his, yeah, just dye your hair black. and then leave the tips as whatever your natural color is. That'd be crazy. But yeah, um, I'll say it doesn't cost too much. It costs like 7 gold to get everything dyed, get like a proper trim haircut and everything. Um, but the rest of you watch as a technically different person walks in, is back into the inn that you guys have been staying at. Uh, yeah, different hair. He's got like a brownish black kind of thing going on. But yeah, right. Give me an investigation check just to see if you can find. How's that? Yeah, it's a group check, so all of you can do it if you so wish. Yeah, this is a good place to be having a natural one because it's not very punishing at all. Yeah, Eclipse Sorrows, the two of you are essentially just following Zane Darcy because they seem to kind of, at the very least, vaguely. Oh, sorry, no, it's just Zane. Because Zane's kind of vaguely aware of how things are situated in the city because, he's lived here for quite a while. Um, yeah, Zane, I'll say that you find a small store. It's just kind of one of the random ones that happens to sell spell scrolls. You walk in, seems to be like a relatively young elvish woman. Uh, she kind of looks around, looks at all of you. Spellcasters, you come to the store to buy some magical scroll. You guys are spellcasters, right? Some of you. Are you without your mask, or are you? Oh, right. Yes. Never mind. No, sorry. Yeah. She kind of looks around. Uh, did you guys need something? I mean, I'm happy to help with whatever it is that you guys require. Spell magic. It's a pretty common one. Yes. Did you need a scroll for it, or did you want to copy down an inscription? Did you want it cast? I mean, I could do any of those. A scroll specifically of that type, which is a utility type spell. Uh, you'll have to give me one moment to find it. Numbers. One. There's okay. Yeah. She kind of looks over. Wait. Spell magic is a second level spell, or is the third? It's not terribly expensive. Just about 500 gold. I admit it is probably a little bit more on the expensive side for people who aren't adventurers or who aren't earning massive amounts of money. But I mean, taking a look at all of you, you all seem like you know what you're doing, right? Electrum isn't real, so technically you don't have an Electrum piece. I was like, well, I mean, maybe it was like a distribution kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, no, there is no Electrum in because fuck Electrum doesn't exist. Yeah, I mean, I have the spell scroll here if you guys need it. Was there kind of just If you hand her the 500 gold, she just hands it over. Who's paying for it? It's gonna be a weird split, but he takes it. Oh, group effort. Okay, nice. You guys are such good friends. I'm very jealous. Here, have the spell scroll. Kind of just hands it to Zane. What do you mean? She's not sad. At least bring attention to it. It's fine. Um, but yeah, no, she just kind of hands the spell scroll over. Um, is there anything else I can help with? Do you guys need different spells or maybe a different type of spell? I've got a lot of them. I've collected a lot of the first, second, and third level spells. So I've got a decent collection of them. I don't have everything, but most of them. Do you want identify? Oh, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Um, uh, thanks. You too. Come back soon, please. Okay, but yeah, just leave. Okay, yeah. You kind of leave the small shop and wander back to yeah. Yep. If I remember correctly, that is yes, that is how Hunter's Mark works. Uh, if you're going outside the city, it is almost like a full day's walk to get out of the city. The Commons is fucking massive, and then you still have to go through the slums and the edges. I think it's almost everyone. Good. Well, that's what the spell scroll is for. Unless you had. Oh. Right. Yeah. After it's like almost an hour and a half of walking, but you guys get to the point where you're at the edge of slums, and you manage to kind of like cast a spell. Who's casting it? Saros, is the spell magic? I'm pretty sure is in your spell book, right? You just don't have it. You just don't have it memorized right now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um, this is a third level spell. You should have it already, I believe. You guys are level 5, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Because it is a spell that you can learn and you do know it, you actually cast this with no issues. Uh, so yeah, you could just straight up cast it. No, you don't. The spell slot is consumed by the actual spell scroll. The spell scroll is destroyed, and yeah, that spell slot is there's no spell slot that's consumed. But the spell scroll, as you kind of like read this out and point it towards Zane to finish the spell, I will need you to give me a spellcasting modifier check. It is a wisdom check with your proficiency bonus. So just make a wisdom save, yeah. Ooh, nice. Yeah. You are almost 100% certain that that spell is gone. And Zane, to you, like there is some sort of almost like pressure that you didn't notice at the back of your neck that just completely fades. Uh oh, actually, yeah, you guys have never been to the slums before. Sorry. Yeah. So um actually we'll get to that. Hey, people are insane down there. They don't care about what you look like. They're undiscriminatorily stealers. Oh well, yeah. So um but yeah, as you guys are kind of walking away from the commons, you begin to see that the buildings kind of like they take not necessarily a downturn for the worst, but you can definitely tell that the city almost is built radially. Like closest to the very center core, like the gathering, where the actual venue is, like that is the council's gathering chambers. Like there and around that area is the nicest, best place to be. At the edges of the Lord Ward, it's still really nice, but it's just a little bit smaller, a little bit cramped. And then you get into the actual commons themselves, and nearing the actual walls of the Lord's Ward, you get some of the fanciest buildings that you could potentially get within the commons, and there's quite a few of them. Um, but as further and further you kind of get along towards the outside of the commons, you can definitely see that a lot of the establishments, a lot of the buildings, a lot of the actual like various locales where residents and folks are living, they tend to get smaller, they get somewhat more cramped, but the commons is still like a relatively nice area. It's almost like a the best way to describe it would be like a fantasy middle income kind of location. Um But as soon as you actually reach the walls, which takes you towards the outside, into the actual slums themselves, you can definitively see that there is a significant change in not just the outlook and the general kind of like vibes and everything of the people around you and of the guards. You can see that the actual walls themselves, they are patrolled by like dozens of guards. The only place you've seen as many guards was within the actual lord, and there is like dozens of them patrolling like this like 15-foot tall wall, just kind of like walking back and forth. They look bored, but they are very much alert. And as soon as you kind of step out of those doors, the set of wide open double doors that kind of like swing open to let you out. Like the guards don't even ask you questions. They see you approaching, they ask if you want to out, and you like yes, and they just let you out. Um, you can definitely see that it's a different kind of place. The buildings are ramshackle. A lot of them are made of like wood. There's no like stone foundations to a lot of them. They just seems to have been like pulled up from old rotting wood that a lot of these buildings are made out of. Like there's been attempted maintenance, there's been attempted like care for a lot of these buildings, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like a lot of that has done gone very well. These buildings look old, decrepit, and honestly like they're on the verges of falling apart, and this is an immediate change from the commons. It does not look very good. And there still appears to be like dozens of people living within these buildings. And it's not like a few people per building. It is actually quite a large crowd that is like within each of these buildings. Uh as of this current moment, as you guys are kind of like it's like mid-afternoon, you do see that there are people out and about. There's like children playing on the streets, there's adults going about their work, doing whatever it is that they're, supposed to be doing. And these buildings are old, but they look homely to these people at the very least. But yeah, it's different. It's definitely different, and you can definitely see that the people here probably have a lot less money, and they're not exactly tailored for the eye at the very least, the way the commons are. If you were a tourist or someone who had never been to Free Reach and you had been arrived in the commons, or just kind of walk through all of that area, everything looks pristine. It looks nice. It's well taken care of. Out here, it doesn't look like there's much taken care of. You don't see a single guard aside from those on the walls. It is dreary. The roads are ill maintained. The only thing that looks even remotely decent is the main big road in the center of the slums that seems to, and it's like it's almost masqueraded behind a series of various different buildings that are made to look a lot nicer than they actually are. But yeah, you are now within the slums. Yeah, there are actually quite a lot of people, or specifically like peddlers, merchants, right near the entrance of into the actual commons. You could see small trinkets. Some of them have like these wooden swords that have been carved out by hand. Some of them have like these, metal sticks that just seems to be like representative of the Lord's Ward. You actually see enamel pins that look very similar to the ones that Zane had gotten from the Lord's Ward. But these look like they're handmade. They look like they're not very well crafted comparatively to the other. Um, you don't necessarily see weapons. You don't necessarily see like armors or anything like that. But you do see tools. You see a variety of different knickknacks for like folks who are just visiting for the first time. You also see various different foods just kind of laid out. There's various different kind of like deep fried foods. There's like fresh fruits and vegetables. It's not like super dreary and awful, but it doesn't look nearly as nice as the commons does. Um, Yeah, you do see a few stalls that are just not quite getting any sort of business. One or two of them don't really seem to mind, but there's a third one. It looks like a young woman, probably mid early 20s, um, with her like hair up, and she's just looking around like desperately trying to just kind of yell out to people like, "Hey, these are some of the greatest jewels oh, okay. No, all right. I'm sorry. These are really rare moonstones that you could no, no. I mean, they give good luck. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. And it just doesn't seem like anybody's actually like stopping at her stall or buying anything. Like, there's still people flowing into the commons and out of the commons, but it's not that common that they come out. It is much more common that they actually go in. But there is a lineup to go in. So, these peddlers are kind of just like yelling out the variety of things, just kind of like, trying to get what they can. Yeah. As you kind of approach, she kind of looks up. Oh, hi, sir. Would you like to buy something? I've got a variety of different jewelry. Uh, I don't have anything that would kind of mix up or go well with your skin tone, but I things- I have these beautiful kind of moonstone earrings. They're said to bring very good luck and fortune to those who wear it, especially if it's at night. I have these green emeralds. They're not real emeralds. I'm sorry, but they look very very close. And they're specifically it's a set of three different kind of accessories. It's two rings and a choker. They come together, and there's like this small metallic string that binds them together, and it looks very wonderful. I mean, a little bit ethereal, a little bit shiny. And like there's these few rings. Is there anything that's specific that you're looking for? I've got these few necklaces as well. Um, oh, yes. Uh, these moonstones, they're wonderfully brilliant. They're going to bring so much absolute luck to you, your friends, your companions, your lovers, whatever it might be. Um, these ones are 7 silver for the pair. Oh, excellent. She takes a look at it. Sir, I can't accept this. This is you've bought the earrings 3 times over. Mhm. Give me an intelligence. Actually, give me a history check specifically. Um, you would know the bare minimum that she is probably like there's a lot of different people, and it's hard to tell who's involved and who's not. People who typically owe money, they have to pay that money back, and if they don't, bad things could happen. She It was very difficult to tell what she was like, but you can give me an insight check just to see if what she's gonna be putting that money to. You have no idea, unfortunately. Um, you are you are unable to tell what sort of affiliation or kind of like insight or like check or like background she might be affiliated with. You just like it's both a combination of just not being aware, having not worked with them for a little bit. You don't know who she is, and just like some of the other information and kind of like rigor that you've kind of gone through. Like at this point, the 100% mark would still be on you. It hasn't been disposed quite yet, so you're just like a bit worried about those things, and you have no idea. Yeah. Uh, sh- please, I really cannot accept it. Give me a persuasion check. She's not a child. She's like mid 20s. 15. Yeah. She kind of looks around. I think someone might steal it from me if I get too much. I mean, if you really want to give me this one, you could pay it in silver and coppers. How much is that? Like, oh, that's a lot. Yeah. Okay. She takes it. It's like, okay, all right. Thank you. I I have to go. She, yeah, she like packs up everything like super quickly, drags it into a bag, and she just fucking bolts. She does give you the moonstone ear, but yeah, I feel like she bought like he bought earrings for absolutely no reason except they were nice. They look nice, and they do actually look quite nice. However, they do not appear to be magical. Okay, yeah, it probably does. Um, but yeah, um, eventually, I'm guessing that day. And well, actually, would you? Yeah, no, yeah. You cast the spell. The dispel kind of goes through, and you guys walk back into the commons. Uh, the guards do have like they kept track of you guys because you had exited from the lord or from the commons into slums, and then you were coming back in. Uh, the head guard is like this older woman, 40 years at the like she just kind of looks at all of you. Uh, mind telling me why you were in the slums and what exactly were you doing in those maybe what 30 minutes, an hour you've been gone? She raises an eyebrow. You want to take a look at that? Really? Fucking real weirdos. All right. Well, she hard glares back at you. Yeah, you got a problem, buddy? Say the fucking line. All right. What were you up to in that half hour? I mean, do you show her the earrings? Okay, give me a persuasion check. Yeah. Yeah, and what else you do, huh? Contact the messengers, yeah? Tell them where all the weaknesses of the commons is, huh? Is that what you've been doing? Oh yeah, she is specifically talking to you. Yeah, I ain't letting your kind back in. Uh, I mean, do you want to? She does just kind of like lean back against the side of the wall, and you do see that there is like three other guards like kind of up above. One of them is manning what appears to be like a larger crossbow that is like mounted to the wall. He's not like pointing it at any of you, but he's just kind of like leaning over it and just watching. Yep, zero clue. I think you know full well what I mean, Dragonborn. Really? You've been living too posh. You've been living a grand old life that hasn't never been attacked. I could see that. Look at your fucking shiny armor, not a single scratch on it. I bet you don't even know how to fight. I'm bringing myself down to your level. The better way. Don't worry. Oh, that's good. Give me an intimidation check. I will say you have advantage on this. Oh, weird. But yeah, yeah, yep. You have a persuasion check with advantage. She kind of looks at you. All right, fine. I'm fucking dropping these gloves. She like drops her spear, throws it at the guard nearest her, and just fucking like walks towards you, fists raised. Okay. Hey, it's self defense at this point, honestly. Um, no, it's not illegal unless you kill the other person. Um, yeah, you're gonna fucking regret this, buddy. She is like maybe 5'11". Like she's relatively tall for a human woman, but gets yeah against Araxis, it is nothing. You rolled a nat 20 on intimidation. She had to stand up for herself. Oh yeah, absolutely. You guys are like in the middle of the road. There is like a dozen people forming like a ring around you guys now, and she's got her arms raised, like, "Come on, buddy, I'll let you." You know what? Actually, no, she wouldn't say that. You know what? Just she just fucking swings. What's your AC with the armor? She has to roll like a 15 or higher to even hit you. Oh, sorry, that should be. That's an 11. Yeah, no, she like swings with her arm and it does not even connect properly because it just hits against the side of your like chest piece and it just like bounces her arm off. She looks like almost a little bit shaken. She does not have a second attack. Uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I will say you are sure. Yeah, 13. That actually misses. A 10. That actually misses. Oh my god. Yeah, you swing with your first arm, just like taking it very casually. She actually genuinely ducks underneath it. And then your second throw is like just a little bit off. And she's like, "Yeah, come on, buddy. You can do better than that." And she swings. And she actually like tries to go for your jaw. Well, she tries. No, because that's a nat one. Ooh. That's a seven. It's just disappointing. But she just fucking fell and ate shit. Oh, that would have been so good. Unfortunately, that is not what happens because she swings, it completely misses, and then using that opportunity, Syraxis, you just smack her on the side of the head. What's the damage you do? It is one plus your strength mod. Six total? Okay. She's still up. Uh you I will tell you right now, if you smite, that's no longer non-lethal. Yeah. Uh she looks a little dazed after the hit, like really dazed, and then she's like, "Oh, you thought it was second attack." She's still up. She is. Oh yeah, that hits. So another 6 points of damage. She is still up, actually. Um, sh- but she looks not happy because the first hit like rocked her. So go ahead. Fuck you! And she swings again. Well, she tries to swing again. That doesn't hit. Yeah, she honestly, yeah, it's fucking. She's hitting Dracula right. She like actually it connects with the bottom of your jaw, but she is so like significantly shorter than you that it doesn't actually do anything. It makes you clench your jaw more, but your jaw was already clenched, so you're like, okay, it does nothing. Roll me another attack. Yeah, no, she goes down with this. Uh, After she clocks you in the jaw, her eyes actually go like straight wide. She's like, oh, before you just smack her in the back of the neck, and she just completely falls prone onto the ground. Yep. Uh, okay, yeah. She wakes up, stirs, and like immediately go, oh, fucking, yep. Let him in. You see, she just kind of like, yeah, just drops. Yeah. You see, she get, yeah, it's just it's heavy breathing and glaring at you guys as you walk back. Poor little Timmy pickpocket. He's a threat too. He's a threat too, man. Damn. Oh god. Yeah. Oh, this poor woman. Oh. One of the smaller boys. I know how to hit somebody. That's about it. You would have taken her down in your like second attack. I'm pretty sure she has 15 HP. Yeah. That's 8. Yep. Yep. Boom. Yeah, she would have been out in 2. Yep. Yeah, you could see that the other, like one of the other guards was actually like, honestly, I thought she deserved that for a long time. Dude, that nat 20 intimidation, it was a fucking taunt, is what you did. You literally taunted her into it. Because I knew for a fact she couldn't take you on. But I was like, you know what? She'd take it. She'd try. Oh. Yeah, but you guys make it back to the inn with relatively little trouble from other folks. Uh, but yeah, and as you guys kind of get back to the inn, it is the night before the actual dance, the event. Was there anything that you guys wanted to do before then, or would you like to just move on to the actual? So I think everybody is full already, oh, except for Zane and Telesto. I'll heal Telesto up. Oh, boom, 76. You can heal yourself. You're here. Yeah, you guys have been a couple of days. So yeah, you definitely would have had enough healing time for all of that stuff. So yeah, that was a short rest. It's okay. You still get health restored from the chef feat and the song rest. If you want to roll me for the chef and well, actually no, it's been like a couple of days. Yeah, you guys will be you're fine. God, I'm just so mad. But yeah, then if there wasn't anything specific that you guys would have wanted to do, I will probably call the session here, and we will pick up next time the beginning of the masquerade. It has been a few sessions. You're full. You're at full. You're at full.